All right, this is Robert Slacking Kraken here with the cast of champions. Unfortunately, this week, Mark has failed a wellness policy, like Alberto Del Rio and others that fell suit. He was just on the sauce, and I had to cut him loose for 30 days.
Surprise! You listen to the cast of champions on the Boldcastify Radio Network, best wrestling show in the 904. This is Mark, a.k.a. BCB Markopedia. How y'all doing? Alright, well... Alright. Well, welcome to Cast of Champions. This is Mark, a.k.a. BCB Markopedia.
This is Robert Slacking Kraken. So what we got on the docket today?
Got a little bit of news to start off. You know, of course, we touched on it in the crazy intro skit. The Del Rio, Paige, and Eva Marie's wellness tests.
Yeah, pretty sure Eva Marie's probably just...
Yeah.
It's probably fake just because they want her to still go with I can't wrestle because of wardrobe, blah, blah, blah. Especially after the Twitter thing with her husband. Pretty sure it's a work.
That dude is a lucky man, though. I'll give him that. She looks good, but she cannot wrestle. Alright.
She wears too much makeup. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she don't look that good.
Alright. I see a picture of her without makeup. It's not that bad. Alright. Also, James Storm talking about leaving TNA.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. They haven't. They got him back, promised the world, and gave him nothing.
Yeah. Then you got Cody Runnels, a.k.a. Cody Rhodes, making his debut on Evolve soon.
That's going to be good. I think he's going to be a good matchup with Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, that's supposed to be his debut in Evolve. And then a lot of people are turning down WWE.
Well, because it's just a job. It's just a job or paycheck. A lot of people are making more money on the indies. And I know with Tommy Dreamer, he was told he'd have to shut down his House of Hardcore.
And I don't think any of us want to see House of Hardcore shut down because I've seen a couple of those shows and they are amazing.
Oh yeah, he's a good booker. He's a good worker.
Yeah, and unfortunately TNA didn't do him right on the booking because he was going to help TNA but backed out of it.
Oh yeah.
And then Shawn Michaels will now be working at the Performance Center. How do you feel about
that's
that one?
rumored. He still hasn't sounded. I know he has put his house on the market in Texas, but he's going to have to move to Orlando. Triple H said that he hasn't signed a deal as of yet, but it is open for him.
Well, his old DX buddy, he probably wouldn't mind having him around.
Yeah, but it would be great for him to be at the Performance Center. I'd rather see a TV option, but that's just me being a little selfish.
I hope they remember that he's still on the whole Jesus kick.
Yeah, that's why DX died as quickly as it did when he got revamped.
Because of Shawn Michaels being on the Jesus kick, yes. Alright, well, that was the news and notes. Coming up, we got a little bit of TNA to start off. It started off with a little scene with like EC3 and the Miracle having a little go, and then it turned into a tag team match with Moose and the Miracle. And EC3 and Eddie Edwards with Moose and the Miracle going over. Moose did the go to hell, but Bennett tagged him and got the pin.
Yeah.
And it looked like it confused the holy crap out of Moose.
Well, yeah, they're probably going to turn Moose on Bennett and try to run him as a face. That's pretty much where they're going with.
That's the rumor I've heard, too. It's setting up a Bound for Glory feud.
Yeah, but he's too green to do anything. I didn't like Ring of Honor either. So.
Yeah, Quinn Ojanaka's just a big old wife beater. That's all he is. And then you had Damian Sandow, a.k.a. Aaron Rex now.
I hated his promo. It basically said, if you're an ex-WWE guy, come to TNA because they'll push you to the moon. Look at Bobby Lashley. Look at blah, blah, blah. It was ridiculously bad promo.
Brother Nero and Broken Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're soon-to-be tag team champions, I'm sure.
Joke. And then, bad women's match, Gail Kim over Marty Bell in a no disqualification. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Gail Kim needs to really think about hanging with the boots.
Yeah, and then the Hardys going over on the Tribunal. The only good thing about that was Jeff Hardy doing a swanton to himself through a table.
Yeah, he did on a JCW show.
The Juggalo show?
Yeah, he did that. People were worried that he was on drugs again, but I think it was him testing that out. him being crazy as he went crazy after a match.
They claim that he's been sober since 2012 or something like that.
I know he does get random drug tests.
Yeah. And then Drew Galloway doing a little promo work, which is still kind of meh.
I do not like his promos. He's always so excited, and he tries to be so prolific, but his words are not there.
Yeah, his accent is also very thick.
His accent doesn't bother me. It's just the way he conveys his message is like an old school 80s WWF style, and it just does not work.
Not anymore. And then you had the Rosemary Bram segments, which still suck.
At first, I thought they were going to be good, but the writing is so bad. And TNA used to be known, even if the storylines were bad, their taped angles were so good.
Yeah, back when Russo and Cornette were running it.
Yeah, now it's just so bad. Like, she talks to a tree.
Yeah, I know.
That was the most entertaining thing out of the whole segment, was her talking to a tree.
Really. Yeah, and I hope it gets better when Corgan gets full control over it. Because he's supposed to be getting full control over it starting next week. So,
well, we'll see.
Starting the next set of tapings, I should say.
He's on the Titanic right now, and I don't know how he's going to do something with a bucket with a hole in it.
And then Lashley going over, sorry about your damn luck, James Storm.
Yeah.
Meh.
I've never been a Bobby Lashley.
So now Lashley has all the titles, but they're about to retire the King of the Mountain Championship. I forget what they're calling it, but it's lame.
So are they retiring, or are they just rebranding it for the third time?
Oh, from what I hear, they're going to do a tournament, and they're going to make a new title and retire the King of the Mountain title.
Okay, so they're getting rid of the Legends Championship / TV Champion / King of the Mountain Champion, come up with a whole new title design.
Yep.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Because I hated the Legends title with Booker T introducing
and Double J, yeah. Ugh.
Even though I think the Black Snow gimmick was the best thing Booker T did in his entire career, because him going as an announcer, talking about him beating someone up, and yelling on the microphone was hilarious. That's the best work he ever did, in my opinion.
And now, next up, we're going to go over a little bit of Raw.
Very little.
Yeah, opening up with, Seth Rollins trying to find the Demon King. Nobody cares. That has been the worst booked title feud I can think of in a while.
The problem is that they wanted a really strong match for the pay-per-view, but the writing's not there. Everything's being left for Seth Rollins. They have no faith in Balor on the mic, so they're not giving him much mic time. It's really something they should have did 2 weeks prior to a pay-per-view, not a month out. It would have worked better. But I know the match is going to be amazing, and I know that we're going to have Seth Rollins as the champion. I already know this is going down.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Finn Balor is not going to be hurt like a Cesaro would if he did not win the title. Because he's new, he's fresh, he's someone new. So him getting to the top of the mountain so quick just shows that he's a contender and he can move on from that. That happens to Cesaro, he's going to go back to the bottom of the pile because it's going to hurt him that bad. Right. That's the reason why Balor's where he is now.
Digressing from that, then you had Rusev and Lana with the Defend Lana's Honor deal. Ugh.
I mean, they're trying to make Rusev strong. I think if they would polish his mic skills, not make him sound like a Russian Hulk, I would like him more. I mean, his ring style has advanced tremendously.
At least
I can watch his matches. It's just his mic. Because I know he's a lot better on the mic, but what they're wanting him to portray does not work.
Yeah. At least I get to see Lana in the hot white dress.
There's there's actually a case against Rusev and WWE because of the whole, shoving blade and all that.
And then, Sami Zayn going over Sheamus due to Cesaro's distraction.
I do not like the best of 7. I think that's a bad idea. Not because of Cesaro, just because I don't think Sheamus can hang with Cesaro for 7 matches. I don't think it's going to stay fresh.
And then the New Day going over to Dudley's, which was...
It was a throwaway match. Dudley's deserve better than that.
Yeah, they do. And then the Bullet Club coming on after that with their little ring post-itis.
I love the Dr.
That and Rusev were actually the best parts of the show, and that's
I really think the Bullet Club skit was the best thing they've had on Raw for 2 weeks, and it really shows that they've advanced from just working the overseas crowd to be able to work a world crowd. that skit shows they have the comedy aspect, they have the wrestling ability. Push these guys already.
Yes, please
Which
do.
you should have did from day one.
And then Nia Jax going over another jobber, kill me.
Yeah, they're trying to build her as the toughest person on the roster.
Problem is, she wishes she was even in half of the category of one awesome call.
I'd rather see the Bella Twins back on TV than Nia Jax.
God.
Which
I'd rather see the whole
Nikki's been
NXT
cleared.
female division on there than Nia Jax.
Nikki has been cleared, by the way, so
Hell,
she should be back soon.
I'm
I think
almost-
not in the full time, though.
I'm almost to the point I'd rather see Eva Marie than Nia Jax.
Well,
That's
she
bad.
found a wellness policy, so we don't have to worry about that for 30 days.
Then Brock Lesnar coming out and the one-man band interrupting the program.
I really enjoy it. I think Heath Slater is a great comedy act. If
and
he
getting
does
the
have
tar
wrestling,
kicked out of him.
yeah, I mean, every week he comes out, it's good TV. I mean, he
And
went
they
from
just
having
get
2
tar
kids
kicked
to
out of
having 70 kids,
Yeah.
you know? I know everyone's seen the memes and everything.
Yeah.
It's creating a lot of buzz, and I think they should really do something with Slater after this, because he's willing to take the job and make money with it. He's making good TV. People want to see him every week now.
Yeah, and then Big Cass going over Kevin Steen by disqualification.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the disqualification. It really
liking
showed
any of this.
it didn't make sense. Why would the good guy get disqualified? Wouldn't it make
You mean the
more
bad
sense?
guy? It was Kevin Steen.
Well, Kevin Steen got disqualified, yeah. But I just don't really. The feud's horrible.
It
Kevin
is.
Steen and Chris Jericho are trying to
Jericho's
carry the
past
matches.
Jericho's past his
He's not-
days,
he's
and
not.
Enzo is, well, Enzo can't work.
Jericho's not past his days. The problem is they're putting all the work on Kevin Steen and Jericho to put these guys over. Kaz is way too green on the mic. He has good in-ring skills. And Enzo,
Is way
they're
too
not-
green in the ring.
he
But
got
he's okay
injured
on the mic.
because of someone else. That was not
Well,
his fault.
He and Gotch both botched on that one.
Gotch threw him way too close to the ropes. There was no way for him to stop. That was all on Gotch. But, as I was saying, the problem is, from what I can tell, is they're not giving any direction to Enzo to where his character should be going in this feud, and he's getting lost in the shuffle. Creative really needs to take a step back and talk to all 4 people and go, hey, what do you think about this? Instead of writing, going, okay, Steve Jericho, do what you want to do, and then you two try to follow suit. It's not going to work. You
I've
need
also
to get
heard
direction.
from people for a little while now that Jericho's kind of gone a bit lazy on the mic, too.
He has to an extent. I know that he refuses to allow T-shirts because he doesn't want his name on anything, because they're not going to give him
The right amount of money.
The right amount of money. And I think it's smart. I mean,
And
for what Jericho does and what his ability is, it's smart to have him, and I think he's going to push Enzo and Kaz to the moon if they actually get the creative in the right direction.
then they had the primetime players and the Colognes. The Colognes going over the primetime players.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, it was just a crappy match. Who
Yeah,
cares?
then
Who cares?
Titus, took him out. or
Betraying
whatever.
Darren Young.
It's like,
Who cares?
It's like you just went over Daredevil the previous week, and now you're attacking him again. Then you attack him because he hits you. It's a waste of TV.
And then Neville going over Jinder Mahal. Who cares?
It was just a strong match
Yeah.
for Neville. That's
The
all.
Bullet Club going over the Golden Truth, a.k.a. Goldust and R-Truth. Who
Hashtag
cares?
Pokemon Go for 5 minutes.
Yeah, who cares? Charlotte going over Alicia Fox.
Throwaway match.
Yeah, with Sasha kind of.
I really don't know what they're doing with Sasha. They gave the title to her, and now they're not letting her have a voice, and they're really making her stagnant. I don't know what the direction they're going with her.
And then the main event, Roman Reigns going over Rusev for Lana's honor.
Yeah, it made no sense. Okay, so you're going to have a pay-per-view match that you're going to basically have on TV? What's the point to be on pay-per-view? Because it's a U.S. title match where you just have that match literally on TV just without the title.
Yeah,
What's the point?
Who cares?
Yeah, because you're not going to put the title on Reigns. We already know this.
That's enough talking about Raw. It's that's how bad it is.
Yeah, SmackDown's blowing it up.
Yeah,
a lot.
SmackDown's actually going all right here. First, you start out with Miz TV.
Yeah.
With Ambrose and Ziggler.
Where's
Ziggler giving
Ziggler
a nice
been?
super kick to.
Yeah, where's this Ziggler been? I haven't seen this since his title run, where he's just a legit heel. He's just not putting up with nothing. He's like, I'm here, I'm fired up, I'm ready to go. If they started with this Ziggler from day one with this feud, this match would be a lot more.
Yeah, because I hate to say it, Bray Wyatt was the only reason why anybody was even half invested in this feud for most of the time.
Yeah, it's very, very true. And I was very happy to see that Wyatt's dropping Rowan, apparently. I loved how he had the mask and just threw it on the chair and walked away. It shows that he's probably going to get a nice little settle.
Yeah, I was about to say, we'll get to that in a little bit. Then after that, you had the Randy Orton deal with Heath Slater.
Yeah.
And Slater going over Orton via disqualification for Orton going to him on whooping his ass.
Yeah, to try to scare Brock Lesnar, which that was a stupid. That really made no sense.
And then the whole contract thing backstage, where they showed that apparently Slater was too out of it to even see that he thought Shane was Stephanie.
Yeah,
trying to build up Orton for Lesnar. Kill me.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Why would Lesnar be afraid of that?
I don't really have any wish to see Orton versus Lesnar. I really don't.
It's going to be a terrible match.
Yeah, it is. Especially with Orton coming back.
I really don't understand.
Green coming back from shoulder surgery.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, Brock Lesnar literally hurts people.
Yeah,
and Orton, he gives no crap.
Orton still looks green coming back from his shoulder injury. He still looks like he's not quite 100%.
He's not. He's probably going to get injured because that's what Brock Lesnar does. He drops people on their head. He fails drug tests. Does not get suspended like other people.
And then you had the Eva Marie wardrobe malfunction, or not the wardrobe, but the Eva Marie traffic jam, and the Naomi's new entrance.
See, like I said, I like what they're doing with Eva Marie because they're not letting her wrestle, but they're bringing her out with the intention to wrestle, and they're promoting storylines, bringing people back. I think it's smart.
Yeah, and then she came in during the next match with Becky and Carmella going over Alexa Bliss.
Which set up a tag team match that now she's getting replaced in, supposedly.
Yeah. And then there was a 12-man tag, which killed me. I hate 12-man tags. I think it's too much crap in the ring. But American Alpha,
I like them. It was just really... I mean, 12-man tags
really
only work when there's a storyline behind it. When you just throw it together... It's kind of like a spot fest, but the people that are in this, like the hype bros and the vaudevillains, you're not going to get very much of a spot fest out of that. Yeah, it was basically just to show the American Alphas are
supposed to be
level.
The big tag team.
Yeah, they're another level. To me, they're like the Steiner brothers of this era. They have that feeling.
They're like Haas and Benjamin, is who they remind me of more than the Steiners.
They're more of a Steiners to me because they have the build, they have the literal outfits of the Steiners. They even do the Gremlin run. I mean, they pull a lot more from the Steiners than they do the World's Greatest Tag Team.
Then you had the Kurt Hawkins vignette.
I liked it. If they let him run with this gimmick, I think he'd be a nice top mid-carder.
It's almost like they gave him Tyson Kidd's gimmick, basically.
That. I don't think so. I mean, slightly, but it's going to be a lot more dirty, a lot more grungier. It's going to have a more, I guess, punk feel to it because he's going to be. I always liked Kurt Hawkins. I was really mad when he got released. I really like the guy. He's a really good wrestler. He has really good mic skills.
Apparently, he's only 31 years old.
Yeah,
so he's got a few years. He'll be probably a mid card. He'll never be a world champion, but he'll be mid card.
Well, I mean, the way WWE's get it, they can. I mean, I don't personally see it, but I never thought The Miz would be a world champion, and he has that under his
the only reason why The Miz was the world champion was because he was big in reality television before he was even with WWE.
It's still the fact he's a world champion.
But I'm saying that's why, is because he was already
David
a big
Arquette was a world champion. I mean, anything can happen.
Well, this isn't Vince Russo in 1999 or 2000. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you never know. Yet Jimmy Jenkins writing some of these, so...
Well, the next match, you had Dean Ambrose versus Eric Rowan with Bray Wyatt at ringside in the rocking chair.
I mean, the match was garbage.
But the one thing is, before that, Randy Orton was out there and on his way out, and Bray Wyatt kind of stared down Orton.
Yeah, it was. They made sure to show that because that was when the cameras were on commercial.
Yeah.
So they're really involving Bray Wyatt in almost every main storyline, and they basically, like I stated earlier, Looks like they're breaking up the Wyatt family. They're going to let him have a singles run finally.
Yeah, but the only thing I don't like is why didn't they just let the stable run wild on everybody at one? When
because the stable was too green. It couldn't stand on their own to do it. Any good stable has a good leader, and then has people there that matter. Rowan has no mic skills. He has decent
wrestling ability. For a big guy, he moves really well.
But Luke Harper has all that, and he's injured. And then you have the whatever his name was. What was the guy? Strowman,
who's now on his own.
Yeah, who just beats up jobbers on Raw because they don't know what to do with them.
With a reverse choke slam, basically.
It's horrible. I mean, you want those people to run wild? That's not fair to the roster.
No, I was talking about just let Harper and Rowan win the tag belts, with Harper being the mouthpiece and Rowan being the guy who takes the bumps.
I guess. I don't think it's fair to Harper.
Well, and then have Wyatt be the world title in that respect.
I mean, if
you have all three of them to push.
I mean, if Rowan could get on somewhat the same level as Harper, I could see it because
I'm just saying let Harper do the talking and let Rowan.
I just don't find him a good enough worker to be in that position because if you don't have the mic skills, you need to be a very good worker.
Or even freebird him a little bit. When they had Strowman, you could have freebirded him. Yeah,
a little bit, but I just don't see that. I see Harper, if they use him right, I see him as a world champion one day.
Well, but then after the match, Bray Wyatt kind of walked away from Eric Rowan.
Oh, yeah. He threw the mask in the chair and said, I'm done.
Yep. Then after that was actually pretty cool, but after that you had John Cena versus Alberto El Patron, Dos Caras Jr., Alberto Del Rio, whichever one you want to call him now.
Yeah, horrible match.
Yeah, it was. It was horrible. And as I have it even written on my sheet, as Cena defeated Dos Caras Jr.
Yeah, then you have Cena bearing AJ literally through a table.
Yes.
Because what was the point of that?
I don't know. Hashtag crappy WWE booking. Hashtag Cena wins LOL. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently.
And then Corbin and Kalisto having their little crappy segments.
Yeah, I don't like they have all this be a star, don't be a bully, but then you have this on TV. It does not make sense.
Yeah, I know.
It's not making Corbin stronger. It's making him look like an idiot. It's burying Kalisto, who deserves so much more than what he's getting. I mean,
he should be on Raw with the Cruiserweight division.
He really should. I mean, Samurai Del Sol is when he was known on the Independents.
Yeah.
He is insane. He was also known as Octagon Jr. before that in Mexico.
In Mexico. Yeah, and that
one of my favorite matches is him against El Generico. I believe it was Evolve. It might have been Dragon Gate USA, but it was one of those. That match was insanely good.
Cool. But basically, and also the fact that they've reduced Apollo Crews to barely having any TV time, and he's supposed to be in a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, he even said himself he's not expecting anything to happen with this run with WWE. He's making it a learning experience, and I think that's the right way to go in with it because he has a look, but he's still very green, especially on the mic.
He is like the second or third youngest guy on the main roster right now.
He is.
The only two guys I think that are younger than him are Bo Dallas and Tyler Breeze, and they're jobbers.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's not a jobber.
Yeah. I just think they're really trying to find a place for him, and I don't know if he's even being vocal about his position. I don't know.
He's a bit green he's very green on the mic. He's good in the ring, but he's very green on the mic. They called him up, I think, about a few months too soon.
Yeah.
I like him, but I don't think he was ready. I don't think Sessa Uha was ready.
Yeah, Uha Nation should have stayed at NXT to really build his brand.
And by that, I mean he should have stayed just to work on his mic skills.
Yeah.
Well, that was SmackDown for you.
A lot better show than Raw.
It was. Good job, Fabian Kalen, by the way.
Yeah.
Good job on a send-off show. Speaking of send-offs, you have SummerSlam.
Not interesting.
Yeah, here are the matches that are being projected that I've heard on the dirt sheets. Lesnar versus Orton.
That's going to be a Snorefest.
Fergal Devitt versus Tyler Black, a.k.a. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins.
That's going to be an awesome match.
but the build-up really sucked.
Yeah, I don't know. That should have been a 2-week build-up only, not a month out.
Yeah. Then you have Ambrose versus Ziggler.
I think the
that
match
was
is
actually
good.
better built.
Yeah, they really tried. Bray Wyatt really carried it at the beginning, but the last segment that Ziggler did really put it over the top. I'll give it to him there. Yeah. I'm interested, but I do have a feeling that they're going to botch it.
And add on the fact, I've heard rumors that Wyatt will be most likely interfering in either the Lesnar-Orton match or the Ambrose-Ziggler match. I've been hearing rumors that he's going to be involved with one of those matches.
Probably the Ambrose, because I'm pretty sure he's going after the title.
Yeah, and if from what I've heard multiple rumors. I've heard rumors about Wyatt being the next guy in line, but then I've also heard rumors about AJ Styles being the next feud for Ambrose. But I think that's more to build Ambrose up.
Yeah.
Than anything if they do have a feud with Styles.
I think he's gonna win this one. The next one he's losing.
If they have Wyatt feud with Orton, because I've heard rumors that they'd have Wyatt feud with Orton, because apparently that was supposed to be Orton's feud before he actually legitimately hurt his shoulder. Was supposed to be with the Wyatts.
Yes. But
it was an aborted arc because Orton literally hurt his shoulder.
Yep.
But yeah, Orton, yeah. And then you have Cena and Styles. Don't really care. I like AJ Styles, but I don't care about that.
I'm afraid they're going to bury him, because that's how they projected it on SmackDown.
Yeah, and then Rusev versus Reigns.
I don't care.
Nobody cares. Sasha and Charlotte.
The build-up's been really bad.
Thank you. The New Day versus the Bullet Club. That's going to be interesting.
I'm going to like it. I'm thinking Big E's going to turn on the New Day.
Well, Big E, I think, also has... I'm wondering if he's got, like, injury issues or something.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. I know they did
I just know he hasn't been on TV for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they did pull off TV for the angle. That's all.
They've had Woods and Kofi work on the matches. And then Enzo and Cass versus Kevin Steen and Chris Jericho, meh. The Miz versus Apollo Crews, meh. Cesaro versus Sheamus, who cares?
Yeah, I just don't think the Best of 7 series is going to work out, because I don't think Sheamus can keep it dynamic enough for people to care that long.
Yeah, nobody. Sheamus borders on having heel heat versus X-Pac heat. And then you have what's supposed to be a 6-woman tag match between Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus Natalya, Eva Marie, and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, with a new partner to be named, apparently.
I'm hoping it's Bayley.
Would Bayley be heel?
I'd just love a surprise. That's all I'm going to say.
He did that in the last pay-per-view.
I would love a surprise, though. Alright, well, that was the wrap-up of WWE. Now let's go to its infant brand, or its indie brand now, Mr. NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, since we had the show last week before NXT finished, we're going to go over the last 2 weeks of NXT.
Yeah.
First off that week, you had the Authors of Pain defeat a bunch of jobbers.
Yeah.
Nails and Rising, I believe.
I'm not a big fan of them, honestly.
Oh, the Authors of Pain?
I mean, they're just really stagnant. I don't really like the Russian leg sweep clothesline.
It does look weird. They need something more powerful. They're like 600.
Like the first match, he clotheslined him in the eye socket because he had a black eye. It's just a very dangerous move. It does not make sense.
They're big guys. Why don't you just have them do something that a big dude does? Yeah. Granted, they had a cool spot where they power bombed and they hit each other's backs against each other. But then the next match, you had La Sombra versus Angelo Dawkins.
It was a good match.
Yeah, and of course, La Sombra can actually work.
Yeah, so can Dawkins.
Yeah, and then you had Bobby Roode, glorious, come out afterwards and kind of talk down to La Sombra. And
well, you got a match at the pay-per-view.
Yep. And then you had Billy Kay defeating John Adadio.
Yep.
Which, good to see that, or Liv Morgan, good to see them getting time on TV. I've wanted to see both. I think both of them have deserved time on TV for a while.
Yes.
Then you had Ciampa and Gargano defeating a put-together tag team of Tucker Knight and Patrick Clark. Good to see Patrick Clark on television. I think he really has a future, but he's just waiting his turn right now. That's all.
Yeah, he's just going to have the right time, and if they let him on the mic, because we did see him live at
the NXT show, he's really good on the mic.
He's really good. He knows how to work a crowd. Because at first, no one was into it, and everyone was saying, what? And he spelled out his entire name letter by letter because he wanted you to know who he was. He's really organic, and he knows how to get under your skin.
I think the What's were only just trying to support him as a heel. That's what I thought. That's what I thought the What's were for me.
It was really just a dig at him because people didn't care, but he made people care. And that's how you know he's good on the mic.
I don't think people didn't care. I think people cared.
I didn't care.
He was a heel.
I didn't care when he came out. When he started talking, I wanted him to go away. But he got me invested because he actually found a way for me to care. He didn't go by a script.
Tampa.
Yeah, that made me laugh. And him going out of his way, it's like, okay, you can't hear me? Let me spell it out for you because you're too stupid,
Yeah.
I like that because
Patrick Clark.
He fitted it to the audience. He didn't go by a script. That's what makes him good on the mic.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed it, and I think if they could bring him in the right way,
of course,
he could really bring money.
They had to have him job on TV, through Ciampa and Gargano. As I said, he's just waiting his turn to be pushed, I think.
Course.
And then Samoa Joe going over Mojo Rawley, which nobody really cared
about. That match should have never happened. It didn't make sense for Mojo to get the jump on Joe and leave him laying. And then Joe having to get him after that, then you have a match. It's just, why does Mojo get this? Why is Mojo getting this rub? I don't get it.
And then that was last week's episode of NXT.
Yeah.
But then this week, and of course it had Austin Aries during that episode going up to Regal looking for a match, and Regal gave him a match with No Way Jose, which nobody really cares about.
No, I don't. They really need.
I just want to see No Way Jose get his ass kicked by daggum.
No, Aries is gonna get jobbed. I can guarantee it.
Which I hate. But that was last week's NXT. This week's NXT was very light on matches, just a bunch of vignettes and signing.
They're just waiting for the pay-per-view.
But a couple matches that happened. Kenta going over on Mustafa Ali, which was actually a good match.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all don't know who Mustafa Ali was, he was part of the Cruiserweight Challenge. He wrestled Lince Dorado in the first round to a great match. To me, arguably my favorite match of the first round.
Yeah.
Was Lince Dorado versus Mustafa Ali. And Mustafa Ali was apparently a replacement guy.
Really?
Yeah, he was the first alternate but got in. And that dude worked. He and Lince had great chemistry.
Yeah, I really agree. I mean, I've been really enjoying it. I know this last week of the show, I enjoyed it. It was only 2 matches, but Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
This man needs a contract today.
We'll get to that in a couple seconds. Then the final match of last week's of this past NXT had Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Nikki Glencross, aka Nikki Storm.
Yeah.
Going over Alexa Bliss, Mandy Rose, and Daria Berenato. Good to see Daria Berenato and Mandy Rose getting some time on TV.
Yeah, slow but surely.
Granted, Mandy Rose still can't rap. She's basically Eva Marie, except prettier, arguably. But that wraps up your NXT. Your matches for NXT TakeOver. Samoa Joe versus Nakamura. That's going to be good. Asuka versus Bayley, really, who cares? La Sombra versus Bobby Roode, I'm actually
interested in Asuka match. Yeah. She has really good psychology, and she kicks ass. So.
It's just the fact that Bayley's going to do the job. That's why.
Well, she should, though. Asuka's a better wrestler.
Yeah, it's almost too predictable. That's what makes me not care.
I think they're going to bring a new face into the feud during that match. That's what makes sense to me. It's probably going to be Bayley's blow-off match, honestly.
Yeah.
Same thing they did with Balor. Same thing they've done with a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah, with Sasha
Sami Zayn had a blow-off match against Shinsuke.
Yeah. And then you had La Sombra versus Bobby Roode. That's going to be a really good match.
It is.
And then the Revival versus Gargano and Ciampa.
I think that's going to be an awesome match. I still think Revival's going to go over, though.
I want to see the Revival get called up to the main roster.
I
I'm
think
wondering if this is going to be their
Gargano
blowout. I'm wondering if this is going to be their blow-off match, too.
I think Gargano and Chop is going to get called up before them.
Well, if so, it's for the Cruiserweight division. And then No Way Jose versus Aries.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the greatest man who ever lived deserves better than this. And then the debut of Athena, a.k.a. Ember Moon,
She's
against Billie Kay.
That's going to be a good match.
That's going to be a good match, wrestling-wise, and good to look at.
Yeah, that's going to be a match that's going to surprise people, for people
Yes,
that do not know her.
Because Billie Kay is a veteran of the Australian scene, and Athena, a.k.a. Ember Moon, is a veteran of the independent scene.
Yes.
And then, but that's, from what I hear from Dirt Sheets, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn.
Yep, should be good.
And then, now finally, we're going to go to the results of the last 2 weeks of the CWC. Had Mascara Dorada, a.k.a. Grand Metalik, going over Tajiri with a metallic screwdriver.
Yeah, that was an awesome match.
Yeah, which is basically a Michinoku driver for those of you who don't know what it is. You get Mascara Dorada, who is a veteran luchador, against Tajiri, who is the veteran Japanese strong style.
Yeah, they mixed very well. They had a lot of good spots. I mean, they both carried the match very well.
Now, the second match is one you and I were both very impressed with, and I think the wrong guy went over, even though I don't mind Kota Ibushi.
He already has a contract.
Yeah.
He's already wrestled at NXT. I mean, I really think Cedric should have went over. Yeah. He conveyed the match so well with his facial expressions. He had you invested from the beginning to the end, and when he lost, I was legitimately
pissed off.
I marked out a little bit. It rarely happens for me, but I've been a big fan since Ring of Honor, and this match really showed that he deserves a contract.
By way of the Golden Star Powerbomb.
Yep.
And then you had Akira Tozawa beating Jack Gallagher with a bridging German.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Gallagher. I love the old British style wrestling.
I'm a little more of a fan of Tozawa than I was.
I love Tozawa. He went over. That's who should have.
I'm not really that big a fan of Gallagher's style, but that's just me. Now, this match to me sucked, and I think both of them are overrated. Noam Dar going over Ho Ho Lun with the knee bar.
Better than the Brian Kendrick match.
Well, but still, I didn't think Ho Ho Lun should have gone over in his first match.
Yeah, you're right.
Against Arya Daivari, against Daivari's little brother.
Yeah.
Because I thought Daivari's little brother was better.
Yeah.
And I thought he deserved to go over Ho Ho Lun. I know Ho Ho Lun has a history in New Japan, but still, he underwhelms.
He does.
And Noam Dar, other than the mic, I don't see anything special in the wrestling ring.
I think he's good in the ring, but he's still trying to find his footing with the crowd. But his mic skills are very good, and he can actually build up his ring ability.
Yeah, because when I saw him wrestle in the first round, I was like, this guy doesn't impress me at all.
Yeah.
And then somebody was telling me he's good on the mic, so.
Yeah.
And then the Brian Kendrick going over Tony Nese with the Sato Tushi.
That was horrible.
Yeah, Tony Nese should have gone over. I thought Raul Mendoza should have gone in the first round. Gone over him in the first round. I didn't think he should have made it even to the second round.
I don't know why they keep letting him bury people.
Well, it's the Brian Kendrick, and they're still using him to try to teach All Red Everything how to wrestle.
Yeah.
Ugh, kill me. At least, as I said, at least she's good to look at, but she cannot wrestle, and we don't really care.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to say one thing. NXT TakeOver Saturday, SummerSlam Sunday. Be ready, man.
NXT is going to blow SummerSlam out the water. I can already guarantee it.
And if you want more of this, you can follow the Cast of Champions on Boldcastify on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any social media outlet you know of. But for today, this is it. This is Mark, a.k.a. BCB Markopedia, signing out.
This is Robert Slacking Kraken. Been a good week for wrestling, I have to say.
Yes, sir. You've been listening to the Cast of Champions on the Boldcastify Radio Network.
Duval.